You guys know from the title of this video that I am going to be having surgery, and I'll tell you that it's gonna happen sooner rather than later. What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna do a different kind of video, and I've done a video like this before. I want to say several years ago, but it's even longer than that at this point. But I did a video talking about breast augmentation and a lot of details, and I want to go through that again. Obviously, like I said before, from the title of this video, I'm having my implants removed. So I want to go back in time and talk a little bit about the different procedures that I've had done, the ins and outs, and why I'm taking this next step. So the first thing that I did back when I was 21 is I had breast augmentation, and I was not super fit. I was thin because I was planning my wedding and, losing weight the regular way. I was going to the gym a little bit, doing some curls and some presses, nothing crazy. I was not CrossFitting back then. I was just in a regular gym with machines. I was doing a lot of running. I was more of a runner for sure than anything else. And getting back into fitness at that point was simple. It was really simple. I mean, going back to walking on a treadmill and stuff like that was easy. And I felt like at that point, doctors just understood what like the gym was at that point. Fast forward, and that procedure was over the muscle, and I was 21 years old, 22-ish. So I didn't need a lift. Like, it was very simple. Go in, put the implants in. Incision was underneath the breast, and very simple procedure considering. I love them. They gave me confidence. I just wanted balance because I had a big old booty from playing soccer. I had just basically finished playing soccer, and I even played soccer after Kylie was born. So I was playing for a really long time. So my lower body always just held more muscle, more size. So I felt like because I was barely an A cup, that breast augmentation would help balance me out. And what better time to do it other than right before my wedding? So we did do that, and I loved it. Then, about 5 years later, along comes Kylie, and I wanted to breastfeed, and I did do that. I was able to breastfeed, and I did it for 9 months by choice. I loved every second of it, and it's a bonding experience. If you're thinking about doing it, do it. If there's any chance that you want to do it, definitely do it. Or at least try to do it, because it's a bonding experience like no other. But I was able to do that even though I had had breast augmentation years prior. I had no issues, and I got 9 months out of it, which was awesome. And then I started losing weight. I was into CrossFit at that point, so I was not producing as much milk. Kylie wasn't getting as much out of it, so I cut it off around the 9 month mark. But I had enough milk, enough supply to last me a full year. So probably too much information, probably didn't need to know that, but I did. So I felt like I crushed breastfeeding, even after breast augmentation. So fast forward a couple years later, after I got into CrossFit like real hard, I had already gone to regionals in 2014, and I decided that after looking at lots of videos from regionals and leading up, that my breasts did not look like they were supposed to look anymore. Because I was under the muscle at the time, every time I did a muscle up or a push up or a burpee and my chest was developed, my pecs were developed, the implants would kind of be pushed down and out. So my pec muscle was actually pushing on my implants. The photos, it was like, muscle ups look cool, but I was like, please don't take any photos of me doing muscle ups, because I hated how I looked doing muscle ups. I mean, just the way the overdeveloped it looked like, my pecs looked overdeveloped. Whether they're overdeveloped or just developed in general, it did not look good on me. So it was like, please don't take pictures of muscle ups. Please don't film it. I don't want to see it. I can do them. Let's just leave it at that. But because of all of the work that I do in CrossFit at that time, I felt like my implants were just being ripped apart from all angles. Again, I was still under the muscle at the time and heavily into competition and had breastfed Kylie 4 years prior to that. So a lot of things happened, and everybody knows over time you're supposed to get your implants redone. I just happened to do it earlier because I was very uncomfortable in my body. I had lost all the baby weight. I was competing, and I just felt like they looked awful to me. I hated them. So Chris was supportive, and he was like, why are you gonna, like, I was like, I'm gonna wait 10 years because they say like implants should last 10 years, which there's an over under there. That's like an average. Anytime somebody gives you an average, it's just an average. Some people do it sooner, some people do it later. I've talked to people that have had implants for 14 to 20 years. I didn't make it that far. So I went back to the same doctor. I didn't do any additional research. Went back to the same doctor that did my first set of implants, and I was like, hey, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take the implants out. We're gonna go a little bigger. I didn't think I needed a lift. I wanted to get back into the gym as soon as I could. Should have done a lift. Should have done more research. The doctor did not want to go over the muscle. He did not understand why I wanted to go over the muscle. And I'm going to get into that in a second. But he did the procedure for me. And I mean, they were better for sure. The bigger implant filled out the pocket more, so that was better. But I didn't have any support. So unfortunately, that particular doctor did a lot of breast augmentation, and I guess all of it was really under the muscle. So, and at that time, back in 2014, I don't even know if the internal bra existed. If it did, I did not get one. So the reason I went over the muscle this time was because I had done my homework, and I found that the issue being that my implants were being pushed down and out because of my pecs being developed. If you put the implant over the muscle, that issue is gone because now the pec muscle is underneath the implant. So I literally, like, in the past, I would be able to actually like flex my pecs, and now I can flex them, I can feel them moving, but you won't actually see my breasts move. So, which is, I don't really think it's sexy to be able to flex your pecs as a girl. I might get comments for that, but I feel like breasts are very feminine, and this might make that comment seem a little bit better. Breasts are very feminine. It gives curves to a body. So flexing my pecs was not like a goal. I didn't want to see my pecs while I worked out. I felt like it made me look very hard. Going over the muscle softened my look a little bit, and I liked it. I personally felt more comfortable in my own skin with my breast augmentation being over the muscle. However, because I didn't do my research on my doctor and I just went back to the guy that did it first because he did such a good time in the beginning, they weren't awesome. They kind of dropped off really quickly. I felt like I just had two bags inside of me, and that it wasn't the best feeling. And when you have breast augmentation, one of the bonuses is not having to wear a bra, and I 100% had to wear a bra. So I had the size, but I didn't have the freedom that having fake breasts typically gives you. I had to wear a bra all the time. Kind of stinks. I was constantly like adjusting my cleavage. Like, you shouldn't have to do that. So fast forward again. I think I had gone about 4 years. So I want to say 17, maybe it was 2018. Maybe it was 2019. I have to go back and check the dates, but don't quote me on that. A few years later, I ended up finding a doctor. His name was Dr. Saad. He's amazing. He owns a CrossFit gym, and he redid my breast augmentation. We went a little bit bigger to fill out the pocket more, and he gave me, I'm going to call it a cadaver, and I think that's the way it was described, but it was basically something that was sewn into my body to help my implants stay kind of up and towards the center. love them. Loved them for years. He did a great job. He was thorough. He understood when I said I wanted to go back to the gym. He understood what that meant to me. He understood that Kristen Graham is a regionals level CrossFit athlete. Kristen Graham is a strongman athlete. Now I've progressed into strongman. There are a lot of moving parts to me going back into the gym. And one of the things, and he laughed when I said this, because you have to, there's extra fluid in the body, so he had to close the pocket. When you go from under to over, there's more of a pocket, so he drained the fluid. Even my second procedure, again being over the muscle for the second time, there was still fluid that needed to be drained. It's totally normal to have drains put in, and he left my drains in for 2 whole weeks. And I was completely shocked. My second procedure, the drains were in for like 5 days, and I was like, oh, there's barely anything coming out. When I went back to the Dr. Saad after the first week, he's like, yeah, we're gonna keep the drains in. I'm like, but there's like nothing coming out. He's like, we're gonna keep the drains in, Kristen. I was like, okay. I went back for my next appointment 2 weeks later, and he took the drains out, and I was like, did you leave these in because you knew I was gonna do something fitnessy? And he just smiled and looked at me, and I was like, oh, you son of a gun. Because I can't be trusted. I literally can't be trusted. I feel out, like it's like an outer body experience if I can't work out. Some people understand what I'm saying, and some people are going to be like, Kristen, you're crazy, just take the break. It makes me nuts not being able to work out. However, my second procedure when I was into CrossFit back in 2014, the doctor didn't know what I did, and I wasn't specific enough. And when he said, you have 100%, you're 100% cleared, you can go back to the gym, I went back to back squatting, put a bar on my back, and almost snapped my body in half, because your core, even after 3 or 4 weeks of not working out, your core goes fast. It comes back fast, yes, but if you were squatting 300 pounds before surgery, you better not go back up to that 200 plus pound mark after surgery. You have got to start slow and build back up. I was young, I was stupid, and that set me back for sure. I don't think it did anything to my implants, but it definitely crippled my body for a while after. So now at that point I'm dealing with setbacks. And then I also had everything I did, I felt like it irritated me. So when I went back for a follow-up visit, I was like, listen, you said I can like have clearance, like what the heck? None of this feels good. And he's like, well, what are you doing? And I was like, well, I want to snatch and I can't get my arms over my head. I want to do pull-ups and I can't hang over my pull-up bar. Like, I want to do double unders and I feel like I can't bounce. And he's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. He's like, I thought you were going to be like walking on a treadmill, maybe curling some weight, maybe doing a leg press. And I was like, oh, hell no, that's not the way I operate. I'm a CrossFitter. I do X, Y, Z. And he's like, no, you don't have clearance for any of that. Meanwhile, it had already been like 2 weeks and I was already trying to do all the things. So with that particular surgery, I went back to the gym way too fast. Again, back to the Dr. Saad surgery, it was amazing. He made sure that I understood what I was allowed to do. I was careful going back to the gym. My recovery I felt like my recovery was textbook. I went slow, I took it easy, I listened, even though it killed me emotionally. I did everything I was supposed to do, everything he said to do, and my breasts looked awesome. But I am an athlete. I'm a professional strong woman. I am a CrossFitter. I push my body to its limits daily. That being said, my breasts don't sit where they did when he did the surgery. I could almost tell you the things when I felt like a movement in my implant, or like now I have a spot where you can see my pec on one side like completely, like it's like my implant completely shifted, and then on the other side it's like more center. So a lot of movement has happened and it makes it harder to have cleavage unless I'm wearing the proper clothing for it. And and it's a pain in the butt. And Chris and I had a conversation probably a year or two ago where we said, when I'm done competing, when I make that decision that I'm not going to step out on a competition floor again, that I will have breast augmentation again. Hopefully it will be the final time. So, you guys know a couple things have happened in the last year. 2 torn labrums, a torn lat. God only knows what's going on with my pec right now. I have so many issues on my right side. My left used to be my issue, but now my right side, forget it. It's so much worse than my left. So it's frustrating, but I've made myself okay with everything. I'm in mentally a much better place than I was 6 months ago, because it was down and dirty and upstairs in the mental house. I was really in a bad spot, and I don't put that out here very much. I try to keep everything upbeat and positive and all the good things, but I was in a bad spot. And where I'm at now with my routine with boot camp and kickboxing and lifting as heavy as I can in the gym, and listening to my body and letting myself recover and all those things, I'm in a better mental place now where I feel like I've made the right decision. And that brings us to where I am today. Now today, I am 2 weeks out from having these implants removed and having new implants put in. Little bit of, I guess, clickbait, if you will. But yes, I'm getting my implants removed, but I am getting new implants put in. I'm excited for it. And the one thing that we did on the last time I had surgery is we documented going to the doctor and asking questions and consultations and all those things. And it was, I think we definitely did a good job. I got a lot of great comments. People still ask me about those videos to this day. I actually have somebody in my DMs I have to get back to now. And I love that I'm that person for a lot of people, because I feel like we have a platform via Instagram and YouTube and TikTok and all these things where if we're putting it out there, you have to expect questions. And I like helping people. I don't know. It's just who I am. So I feel like we did a good idea explaining the process of breast augmentation and then the recovery per the doctor. But I did a terrible job, and I apologize. I did a terrible job at showing what goes into recovery from a fitness standpoint. And when I went back to look at my videos, I realized I have 2 weeks post-op. We did a video, and then boom, I'm doing clean and jerks. How heavy did I go? First day trying clean and jerks. And I just, in my head, was so disappointed in myself, because even for me, I didn't document for me the recovery, what I did, how I did it. That's stupid. Because now I'm going to go back under the knife, have surgery again, and I don't remember 4 years ago, or no, it's more than that now, 6 years ago, whatever it is. I don't remember what I went through. I don't remember, I know mentally I was a mess because I can't work out, but I don't remember what the first thing was that I did when I went to the gym. I don't remember when I was able to, say, jump rope again. I don't remember that process. And how am I going to be that person for you guys or your girlfriends or your wives or whatever who are going to go through this process and have questions? And I didn't document it for myself. So you guys can expect a lot of content coming post breast augmentation as far as getting back into the gym. I want to show you guys what I'm able to do. I want to let you know what's irritating me when I have to take a step backwards, like doing the back squat after my second surgery, doing this heavy back squat, and now it pushed me back. It actually made me not be able to go to the gym for a couple weeks after, because my core hurt so bad. Your core is all of this. So it hit my back. It's everything. I don't want to have setbacks, but I'm going to be honest with you when I do have a setback, when I pushed myself too hard, because Lord knows I'm going to push myself hard. But because I'm letting myself get breast augmentation again, I don't want to mess these up. So if you didn't believe me before, I'm not competing anymore. I am being healthy and fit for myself and for you guys and for my clients, because it's just who I am. But I am definitely done competing, and I do not want to destroy my implants anymore. I'm over it. I just want to be in a good spot with my body altogether. So thus far, I have, from January until now, we're in March, we're going into April, I lost 15 pounds. I'm working on building my booty back up. Some of the comments were not so nice on my Muscle Beach video, but that's okay, I can take it. I did lose my butt, but I am working on building it back, and it is coming back. So sometimes if you drop weight too fast, unfortunately, that is what happens. But the point of this video is that I want you guys, if you have questions, if I missed something in my last breast augmentation series, if you don't feel like asking your questions in the comments below, you can send me an email at kristengraham.kg@gmail.com, and I would be happy to answer it for you privately. If it's a really good question and it's something that I feel like people will benefit from, I will keep you anonymous if that's what you would like. But I'll do a video on it as well. So if you guys have questions, concerns, questions for yourself or your loved ones that you want me to hit on, or even ask the doctor when I go see him, shoot them to me, either in the comments below, or again, kristengraham.kg@gmail.com. I would be more than happy to answer them for you to the best of my ability. And if I don't have the answer, I'll find somebody that does have the answer. I don't mind answering questions about this. I like helping people, so if I do help, that makes me happy. So I hope you guys like this video. I hope you're excited about what's to come, because I know I am. I'm really excited. I will be in South Florida having breast augmentation this time around, and like I said, I am 2 weeks out. I'm very excited. We'll get into more details at a later date as to exactly what I'm doing, but I will have a internal bra, and they will stay, I am confident that they will stay high and tight, like a military haircut. That's where I want them. So I'm excited. I hope you are too. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have questions, make sure you comment below or shoot me an email, and I will see you guys next time.